Today, I want to talk about the mental side of things after spinal cord injury, a thing that nobody really talks about. And being paralyzed, hold on. And being paralyzed isn't for the weak; it's for those who are actually strong. And this is why. So we deal with a lot of nerve pains, and it's very exhausting just dealing with it. Where you had to be medicated so you could feel somewhat better with the pain, where you cannot even sleep at night because of the pain, which is why I'm on sleeping meds. Whenever I wake up, I'm like, here you go again with the nerve pains. So it could be very mentally draining dealing with it. And another thing I want to mention too is like it could be mentally exhausting transferring. Like once you finish transferring, like on your bed, and you forget your phone or forget to turn off the light, you got to get up, transfer, and it's just you got to huff a puff about it. It's just mentally exhausting, just because you can't just get up and walk. So yeah, if you guys see me looking sideways, it's because I'm looking at my notes, make sure I stay on track. There's days that yeah, how's it going? There's days like I just want to be normal. Like I mentioned, we can't just get up and walk to just turn off the lights or get our phone, which I forget my phone all the time when I use the restroom. So another thing I like to mention is that we're kind of pressured to be strong and like motivating, especially me because I do YouTube. And so I feel like I'm pressured to inspire others and I cannot have like bad days, which is kind of not fair sometimes because we all have bad days being disabled or paralyzed. So yeah, so sometimes it could be tiring, like being strong all the time. Another thing I like to mention is fear of being alone. Like somebody to accept you, being disabled. Dating for me has been all right, but it has been a little harder. But then again, I'm a little picky. So, um, but another thing I like to mention, speaking of being alone, is nursing homes, where we're going to be like end up at like nursing home once we get older or even young. Because I know somebody who's in a nursing home and he's young. So yeah, that's one of my other fears that I have. And another thing that I want to mention is fear of long term dependence, such as having to depend on somebody like my dad to wash my clothes and do other things for me, like what's it called, like transport me to my appointments. So it could be emotionally burnt. You could be emotionally burnt out, just trying to be strong and trying to be positive all the time and just being paralyzed. And another thing I like to mention is it could be very tiring explaining your condition. Um, like how I got shot. It could be tiring explaining it over and over again, especially to new people. So hopefully they check out my videos because I'm tired of explaining sometimes. Let me see. Another thing I want to mention that my home nurse wanted me to bring up was that grieving, being disabled, you go through 5 stages of grieving, which is grieving of your old life, grieving your old body. Wait, let me see. Hmm. I don't understand my notes right now. But yeah, there's 5 stages of grieving. Oh, there it is. Denial, anger, bargaining, which is like, please God, I promise, if you make me normal, then I won't, continue doing certain things like selling dope or whatever I did back then. And then another one is depression and then acceptance. And I think I'm at acceptance now because I used to be depressed a lot. There's days I still am depressed, but Now back to my other notes. Grieving for your old life. I grieve about my life all the time. I have dreams about my old life, the things I used to do, the cars that I had, my Cadillac and stuff like that. Um, it could be a lot for me sometimes, just missing my old life and the people I had in my life. So, grieving your old body, such as who I used to be back then, like much bigger. And I'm not saying I'm skinny, skinny, but I'm fit, I guess. But it's just we grieve our legs and other things. And it sometimes feel like the old me had died, you know. Um, so yeah. So when it comes to my what's it called? My anniversary being paralyzed, it's more like a death day to me. It's not really like a something to celebrate. At least that's for me personally. And another thing I like to mention is anger that builds up because like mental problems and things like that. I used to drop things all the time and I'll be screaming those people's names involved in my shooting. I'm like, F this person, you did this to me. So whenever I fall or whatever, I end up cussing their names or just cussing. So yeah, but over time, my dad noticed that when I drop something, I haven't been cussing, and that was years ago. So I've been doing good for a few years, and my dad was like, "You're doing good. You're not, yelling up a storm or cussing up a storm." So sometimes being disabled, we feel like a burden, and I feel that a lot sometimes. Uh, so yeah, I don't know anybody else that feels that way. If you do, then leave in the comments below. And who do you feel a burden to? So sorry, somebody messaged me. So another thing I like to mention is guilt for needing help. Sometimes I feel guilty, and so I like to be very independent. Like my friend Dax say, Mr. Independent. So yeah, I like to do things on my own. That's why I created quick tips for you guys for YouTube because it teaches you guys how to be independent and how I became independent. So, and sometimes you feel guilty of being sad because there are people who have it far worse than you. And I really hate when people mention that. They're like, oh, there's people who are far worse than you. You could be a quad. It's like they're excusing your injury, your disability, and it's kind of messed up and hurtful. We all have our own struggles and differences. Um, so yeah, does anybody else feel pressure to always be positive? What's the hardest part for you, and what is misunderstood for you, such as people not accepting you? I guess I don't know. So yeah, I want to talk about what helped. After, I just finished talking about the struggles. Now I want to talk about what helped me personally. So I like talking to trusted friends and family. For me, a lot of family has left me. Um, and friends, I guess, but same time, I'm very picky on who I am friends with. But luckily, I do have trusted friends to talk to. Another thing I used to do is journaling, which is good. My dad told me to do that, and so whenever I'm mad, I'm like, "F this person, f this person," or like, "Oh, I'm having a horrible day, these nerve pains," and journaling could help you. You don't have to do it every day, just when you're having really bad days. Medication. I take duloxetine, 60 milligrams, and then I take another medication, and it's for pain meds, and it's a dual choice. It's for pain and it's also for depression. like for my mood. Um, Another thing that helps me is huff and puff. Like I say, when I forget my phone, I'm like, and get up and do it because nobody's going to do it for you. And that's what's exhausting and tiring, you know. So sometimes I wish that other people live my life to understand the pain I'm in, or just the mental part of it. Another thing is praying and having faith. So um, I did a podcast where I talked about like my faith and how I came to be to it. Um, you guys should check it out. I think I left a link in the description. It's a podcast I did with Rico, and I went in depth on my whole story, like who I used to be back then. Another thing I like to do is watching funny videos and memes. So whenever my friends send me memes and funny videos, it makes my day. So yeah, memes are life. Another thing I like to do is spending time with family. Like I said, not all family is always there. And I know some people whose family and even friends left them because of their disability. So yeah, that's a bummer. But whenever I'm bored, because I'm actually supposed to be bedbound, but this cushion I have allows me to sit for a little bit, I'll go out there to just chat with people, like my family members, whenever I get too bored. So yeah, and having hobbies is also great. Mine is graphic designing. I don't know if you guys noticed my shirt, but it's T11 paraplegic disability um, awareness. I forgot what it said. Yeah. So you guys should check it out. I have other links. I mean, I have other shirts that I have, and there's also a link in the description to my shop shop store. So yeah, thank you. Glad you like the shirt, and thank you for ordering some of my shirts and merch. So yeah, so also working out is a big thing for me. I like to work out, and I see a lot of people that are disabled working out, and that's great. It's good to see stuff like that because it puts all of your anger and frustration and sadness and you put it into your workout. And that's what I do personally. Um, I like doing arts and craft. Like I said, graphic designing, YouTube, that stuff keeps me occupied. And, just helping others is what brings me joy. How do you work out? I use resistant bands. And thanks to you, I was able to buy resistant bands. For those who buy my merch, I'm able to buy things that I need. Um, so I really appreciate it. So yeah, so I work out on my bed because I'm bed bound, and so I don't know if you see, but I hook up my resistant bands to that, like to the end of wait, to the end of my bed, and I just like curl or do whatever. So yeah. Anyways, that's a pretty much short video, I guess. But I would show you guys my meds, but it's too far. But like I said, I take duloxetine, and that's what helped me in my depression. I take 60 milligrams, and then I'm on this new medication, but it just makes me too drowsy. So I don't know if I want to like promote it yet, but I'll let you guys know. But it helps my pain, but it just makes me too numb. Anyways, if you like the video, then consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with a friend, and also leave a comments below. And if, like I said, if you like my merch, then I'll be leaving a link in the description. It should be ready already there with the link. Anyways, till next time.